Yo, Egypticus. Before we get into this, can you let me know if I'm coming through okay? Yo, British Tyrannosaur. I'm just sort of trying to organise how I'm going to be sat for the duration of this, because I think we might be here for a little while. Sounds good? Does it sound good if I talk like this? What up, Jack? What up, G? Jack, it's funny enough you're in this stream, because this time we're looking at the Lost Worlds marketing, and the last stream you were in, I think, we were looking at all the posters for Jurassic Park 3, and this time we're going to be looking at all the posters for the Lost World. Come on a good night. Hello, Federico. Sound is good. That is what I like to hear. Alright, so I've got 2 cups of tea on the go. I've got 2 different fruit teas. I've even got some licorice one, which I've just recently discovered that is fucking awesome. And a nighttime blend. Something to see me off to sleep. Man, the Lost World is the best. Hello, Mr. P8680. How are we doing this evening? Okay, so I think I'm just going to get things, started, because we're here and we've begun. So we have a few topics tonight. We have the Jurassic Park Adventure books, which I've got all 3 here. I've read all 3, and we're going to be getting to like what each chapter basically. I don't want to go too into spoilers with these for people, but I am going to have to touch upon some of the certain scenes and what I think about the books and stuff. So I'll try and keep, the information minimal for those. But yeah, we've got those. We're going to talk about potential plot holes in Jurassic Park 3. Although I went to go watch Jurassic Park 3 today, but then I ended up watching Jurassic Park instead. I put it in and if you've watched these films a lot, then you might understand where I come from where I say this. Like, if you watch these films a lot, when you go to put that Blu-ray or that DVD in the player, you can feel, or you just see the entire film in your head instantly, and you're like, well, do I want to go on that experience? Because I've just experienced it. And I went to put in Jurassic Park 3, and then I stopped and picked up Jurassic Park and put that in. But yeah, so we're going to be talking potential Jurassic Park 3 plot holes, the dinosaurs of Isla Sorna, which is interesting because Survivor throws some things into the mix concerning that, and the Lost World Jurassic Park marketing posters and toys, which I've got set up ready in the background. What are you guys saying? Jurassic Park 3 has plot holes? Could have fooled me. Says British Tyrannosaur. Jack de Lamar says, there are no plot holes in The Lost World, everyone. It's perfect. A perfect movie. It is a perfect movie. Side point, the Lost World DVD menu was the best. The Blu-ray menus are uninspired and generically universal. Yeah, I mean, the universal Blu-rays tend to have just gone for this, box standard look to all of them. It's kind of like when Disney decided to release all their DVDs just with the grey, with no, artwork on them. I prefer the DVD menus over the Lost World. That's why, when I use these, I'm using, the right one. This is the one with the menu you're talking about. It was actually only recently that I saw the American DVD menu has the T-Rex footprint in a puddle in San Diego. And I'd never seen that before. I thought that was really cool. I think everyone's talking about plot holes, so I think I might start with the first topic of the evening, which is plot holes in Jurassic Park 3. So I think what we have to do is determine what is a plot hole, and I think it's just in the title, isn't it? It's like a hole in the story that should be filled. So right off the bat, one of the plot holes that comes to mind, are actually arguably a plot hole, is the opening sequence. We don't see what creature kills the people on the boat, but that said, I don't know if it is a plot hole, because we know there's dangerous animals on the island. So the fact that they go through mist and come out dead isn't so much a surprise. We know some cloned InGen animal killed them. So is it necessarily a plot hole? I don't know. Egyptica says, a gap or inconsistency in storyline that goes against the flow of logic established by the story's plot. So yeah, see, that's what I mean, because it's not illogical that the guys on the boat die. It makes sense. It's just we just don't actually see the actual culprit. And you said JP3 has many examples of these. Yeah, I'm just trying to think like where in the story they actually do have a plot. I mean, a lot of people, from what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of people mention like InGen's list, that storyline never goes anywhere. And to me, like, I don't know, InGen is one of those things where InGen's just so full of secrets that like I just took that as like, that's just the answer for why the Spinosaurus is there and why the raptors look different, is InGen have been up to stuff. And that doesn't mean, it's not a good thing. I mean, you could argue that they could have elaborated on that a little bit more, but at the same time, you don't really need it. Egypticus, originally in the script it was meant to be pteranodons, but that makes no sense. Well, in the original script, and I don't know if you guys knew this, but Clayton Fioriti actually talked about this in a video of his over on his channel, and he pointed something out from the original script that I'd never taken note of. In the original Jurassic Park 3 script, the boat was attacked by pteranodons, but this was found out by Alan Grant and Eric Kirby really late into the film. So when they were getting rescued off the beach, the army and that were putting everyone onto the helicopters, and while they were waiting for this to happen, Grant and Eric saw the boat, which was at the beginning of the film, on the rocks, and Grant tells Eric Kirby to stay back. And then they go over to the boat, and Grant notices like the blood on the deck, and he notices three claw marks which look like the logo slashed down the tarpaulin, and he's thinking like, oh, it's got to be something that something attacked this boat. And then he turns around and says to the army guys, like, he realizes what it is, and he yells in the script saying like, they're in the trees, and pteranodons were meant to burst out of the trees. They're like some that had already escaped, had been hiding in the trees. And I just thought it was interesting, that sequence was cut, because as Egypticus is saying in the chat, the pteranodons were locked back in the cage in the film, so it doesn't really mention anything about them being locked away. But I thought it was interesting that the claw marks made the logo, because it would make more sense why that the Jurassic Park 3 has the claw marks. And if you actually watch the film, I swear you can see on the tarpaulin, it flaps over, I think, so you can just about make out those 3 specific claw marks, that are on the Jurassic Park 3 logo. Yeah. Mr. P8680 says there were 3 flying pteranodons at the end of The Lost World. That is true. I think Jurassic Park 3 just forgot about that. But that said, they don't really step on any toes, because, and I don't know if you know this, Roland Tembo's, dinosaur list that he's looking through when they're capturing all the dinosaurs, in the roundup sequence. There's scans of that, of those sheets of paper that he's reading from, and the pteranodons that are mentioned on there, the ones that are seen at the end of The Lost World, it's mentioned they're kept in an aviary on a specific part of the river, which is way north, or is it south? I can't remember. It's ages away from where the aviary is meant to be set in Jurassic Park 3, so there's 2 aviaries on the island as far as we know. Yo Trauma Child, welcome to the chat. He says, hey guys, what are we talking about? We're currently discussing potential plot holes in Jurassic Park 3. It's a fascinating subject because Jurassic Park 3 was rewritten quite a lot during its production. So, Egypticus says there were many holes in it, and I don't know if there are as many plot holes in Jurassic Park 3, because the film still makes sense from beginning to end. It just if you take it into account as a whole, part of the whole franchise, then it doesn't really add all too much. But then I don't know. What were we saying? The Lost World Pteranodons were a different type, less aggressive, no teeth, says Egypticus. That is true. Yes, that I like to think they're a more placid, fish-eating pteranodons. What else are you guys saying? I don't know if anyone's pointed out any more. The Spinosaurus was not on InGen's list, says Federico Gomez. Yeah, the Spinosaurus wasn't on InGen's list, but it might have been on someone else's list. Who knows? It could have been that some guy just didn't write down the Spinosaurus on the list. They're like, hey Greg, have you got the dinosaur list? Yeah, I'm nearly done. We've got a Stegosaurus, a Corymphosaurus, T-Rex, Velociraptor. Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh cool, yeah. He just left it. He got to Spinosaurus. But yeah, I think Mr. Pete 8680 says yes, the InGen list that went nowhere. I would say it got retroactively retconned. Now, what I mean by that is, I think that InGen's list, now when you watch all 4 movies and you go from Jurassic Park 3 to Jurassic World, you can kind of think that, oh, okay, so that's why it wasn't on InGen's list, is they were at that time preparing for Jurassic World. So they kind of like retroactively, answered that just by the sheer fact that we now know in the story that a park was being built on Isla Nublar. Federico says Velociraptor versus Ankylosaurus was the part of JP3, but no. Was that part of an old script? Trauma Child says, I always thought the ones at the end of the Lost World were from the hatchery and the ones in the cages were older. That's interesting, but I think the one in the Lost World you see at the end looks pretty big and adult. Scone Trooper says, plot hole. Sattler can get the military to rescue them from the island, but the Kirbys can get the military to rescue their son. It's not a plot hole because Sattler... Everyone thinks Ellie Sattler called the Navy, but she doesn't. She goes to her husband, Mark, and Mark calls the Costa Rican government because he's as Egypticus is saying, Ellie's husband is involved in treaty law. So Ellie went to her husband. There's a shot in the 3rd film, if I remember correctly, where Ellie is looking out of the window at him saying goodbye. Oh no, Charlie, that's it. Charlie's looking out of the window. Baby Charlie looking out of the window, and he can see that Ellie is talking to Mark outside. So it's like, kind of, hurry up, Charlie, that they're leaving. I just realised my laptop's not plugged in. Don't want it to run out of battery. Where are you? There we are. Get the old Chargerino. Okay. That happened to me on a live stream before. I was live streaming and I didn't have my laptop plugged in and it just shut off and I was like, oh shit. British Tyrannosaur, his one. Why are all the herbivores different colours? Pretty sure the Parasaurolophus were green, unlike in the Lost World where they were brown. The Parasaurolophus were green in the first Jurassic Park. There was, the famous shot where the Brachiosaurus are walking out of the lake. If you look at the zoom in on the Parasaurolophus in that scene, they're actually green with like bits of red on them. And then the ones in the Lost World are like a yellowish, with like the brownie stripe down them, and then a bit of red on their face and whatnot. Trauma Child. But that was the reason why they were loose at the end of the Lost World. They weren't in cages, but the other ones were born before the hurricane and were left in the cage. I mean, yeah. I mean, because the ones in the cage had teeth, I think that's why they were probably locked in the cages. I think they were like a sort of almost genetic there was a genetic flaw in those pteranodons, so then they, you know, they had teeth when they shouldn't have, and were much more aggressive. But someone did point out, you know, the whole pteranodons attacking the boat right at the beginning. They were saying how, like, the skull, Eric Kirby picks up a human skull when he's fleeing the baby pteranodons in the cage, and he throws it, and a lot of people have assumed that that skull is the guy who drove the boat, but I don't believe that. I think in Jurassic Park 3 it's meant to be the Spinosaurus that attacked the boat, mainly because as the film stands, I'm not talking about previous scripts and stuff, but as the film stands, you get more of a feeling that it's the Spinosaurus because of the whole boat sequence at the end. You know, they make a big, you know, they tailor a whole scene around it. So it's kind of like a, you know, a throwback to that earlier one in a way. So I like to think it was the Spinosaurus was swimming out in the ocean and attacked the boat. There, yeah, just seeing what you guys are saying. Yeah, the dinosaurs are theme park monsters. But that's what's so great about Jurassic Park is because they're genetically engineered animals, like the variants in each film, you can get so much different choice. Yeah. Logic hole, says Egypticus. Why didn't Alan, Billy, and the mercenaries double check that the checks were given to the Kirbys were legitimate? Well, there's a thing, you know, they should have tried to cash their checks before leaving. You'd think Alan Grant would have learnt his lesson from the first film. Frederico asked, Jurassic World or Alien Covenant? Both. As long as I don't go anywhere, those films aren't going anywhere. So, and by that I mean, like, if I die, those films continue. While I'm alive, I can enjoy both. It's quite morbid, but that's just the way I see things. Nick Van Owen was smart enough to do that in The Lost World. Hammond's checked cleared. Exactly, and Nick Van Owen is a, you know, he's a man who prepares. He knows how to prepare himself for stuff. Trauma Child. People say that the Spinosaurus couldn't have kept up with the boat. But what if the Spinosaurus set an ambush? I don't know if it set an ambush. I would say it just maybe they ran into the Spinosaurus. What if it was out there fishing, eating something, and then the boat sort of hit it? And it, like, you know how it gets hit by the plane? Egypticus says, hence dumb characters. The thing about the characters in Jurassic Park 3, I'll say this. You know, like, the Kirbys are really irritating for the most part. Like, a lot of people will agree that the Kirbys are, like, quite irritating. I say that the Kirbys are irritating because they're the kind of people who would go to Jurassic World. If, like, a park was open with dinosaurs, you know, like, they paid, you know, Eric and Ben got an illegal boat trip. Like, they were desperate to see dinosaurs based on the fact that Eric wanted to see dinosaurs so badly. Anyway, speaking of that, so let's segue from Jurassic Park 3 plot holes. I don't know if there's many else I could talk about. It's more just structure of that film that I don't like. I mean, as much as I don't like the dream sequence, it's not a plot hole by any stretch of the imagination. The dream sequence fits in the story. Same for, like, oh, here you go. Okay, so maybe the dream sequence does have a plot hole, as Egypticus is saying. Why did Alan Grant dream about a male Sorna velociraptor when he'd never seen one before? Was he clairvoyant? Well, we know he's a little bit clairvoyant because he could predict that T-Rex's vision was based on movement, and he was right about that, and raptors attacking from the side. No, but in all seriousness, I think, like, the reason why Alan Grant sees the raptor that way is purely because in Jurassic Park 3, you know, when they were making the film, they just updated the raptors because they wanted to make them as close to the, you know, the sort of paleontologically correct versions that they knew of at the time. They weren't thinking of people like us, you know, 15, 16 years later going, yeah, how did he dream that? But in you know, again, with Jurassic World and you know, the other films, you can. It's easy to just go. Alan Grant dreams of the Sorna raptor because he saw InGen's list, and he knew those ones were on the island. There you go. It's perfect. They must have been on InGen's list. I remember all those fake JP4 trailers where everyone thought the plot was the island getting bombed and the Spino swimming to the mainland. Says British Tyrannosaur. Wow, that would be pretty interesting to see. How does Cooper's sniper rocket rifle fire that can blow up a plane and not do anything against the Spinosaurus? Maybe he missed. Maybe he fired shots off, but the shots never landed. Maybe I know it's a big target, but who knows? Maybe the Spinosaurus just turned. You have to apologise if I sound a bit groggy. I'm a little bit ill. So a good segue from Jurassic Park 3 Plot Holes is going on to these Jurassic Park Adventure books. Now, before I get into these, is there anyone who doesn't want to hear about what's inside these books? Because if you don't want to hear it, I'd say leave the chat. Keep an eye on my Twitter, because then I'll post once it's over. So I'll post once I'm done with the JP Adventure chat. But if you're not bothered because you just want to know, I can briefly explain what the plots are for each of these books and highlight some of my favourite bits and things I didn't like as well. Trauma Child, I'm indifferent. Okay, yeah. Read most of it on the JP Wiki, so I'm good. I'll never read them. Mr. Pete, I'd say, one day you should. They're pretty fun. Okay, I think the chat is unanimous on what I should do. Okay, so I'll start with the first one. So in the order they go, it goes Jurassic Park Adventures Survivor, then it goes Prey as the second one, and then it goes Flyers for the third one. But the first one, Survivor, is really... Let me turn the brightness down on my screen just a little bit so then you guys can see it. I really, really, really like this book. I mean, the cover is kind of horrendous, but at the same time, it's got some charm to it. These are all written by Scott Keechkin? Keenkin? I don't know how to pronounce that last name. Oh yeah, Mr. Pete, I agree with Egypticus. You should listen to the audiobook for the first two ones. Aren't these books for third graders, says Pastel Studios? They are, but at the same time, they shed some light. If you're interested in this franchise as much as I am, they shed some light on some aspects of the films that you don't ordinarily would think of. And by that I mean, I consider Jurassic Park Adventures Survivor canon, because it's Eric Kirby. This tells the story of Eric Kirby on the island for 8 weeks, and it tells it from his perspective, and it's written by Eric Kirby. And it explains things like, in the opening, it explains that Ben Hildebrand died. They find his skeleton up in the tree. Well, in the book, it explains that he actually died from the actual fall. When they crashed through the trees, the harnesses and stuff tugged on him for a lot, so that he died from the fall. He didn't get eaten by dinosaurs. That happened afterwards. I'm assuming compies climbed up and pecked at him, or maybe it was raptors, who knows. But but it actually explains in this book that he died from the fall, and also explains how Eric got the raptor claw and how he gets the idea to get the T-Rex P. Still doesn't explain why he doesn't want to tell Alan. Because the reason the way he gets the idea to get the T-Rex P isn't that embarrassing. He just sees a puddle on the ground and sees dinosaurs avoiding it, and he's like, maybe I should pick some of that up at some point. Yes, Trauma Child, bleeding and broken bones. Egyptica says they help expand some of the JP story. That is true. He also wrote the JP novelization too. Yes, I've got that upstairs as well. Stevis Neo says, "Hey Jack, hey everyone, how are you all?" We're all very good. We've just started, really. I mean, we've been doing it for 25 minutes, but yeah, we've got a long way to go. But anyway, Survivor, let me talk about this a little bit more. So yeah, it counts Eric Kirby's tales on the island. Now, you do get sequences in this. There's a good section where Eric Kirby is hiding in amongst, he's barricaded off a section of the embryotics lab, which, we see later on in the actual film. And he finds a pair of rollerblades. And there's this whole sequence where, like, the raptors are chasing him, and he's roller skating through the embryotics lab to, like, escape them. You kind of have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, but at the same time, it's pretty awesome. The way they describe it is still tense. You're like, oh my god, because it's talking about how he's like trying not to slip over things that are scattered across the floor in these rollerblades that he's found. And he found rollerblades because they were in a confiscated drawer. I can't remember. I think the exact reason was a worker brought them in or something to like skate around the office, and then they just got taken off them. But yeah, and it also talks about how he finds Grant's book. The one, I can't remember if it's the one before or after the incident. I want to say it's the one after, but he finds Alan Grant's book, and that's where he reads it on the island. That's something I didn't really like, because the way the film plays out, it's like he read the book before he was on the island, and plus they never show him read the book. They never show Alan Grant's book in the film, but in this he does find a copy of it. Excuse me, and starts reading. British Tyrannosaur said it could have been worse. It could have been gymnastic teenager killing a raptor. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Mario Landis. How would you describe the tone of the book? Is it dark, similar to Crichton's style? It's because this first one, it's in first person. It's all Eric Kirby's writing. Like the opening, it's like, "Dear reader," and it's kid friendly, but at the same time, it's not afraid to go into some dark places. I mean, as dark as this kind of like what you can expect from a book, made for kids. The next two are very much more kid friendly, although people do die in these ones. Obviously, Ben Hildebrand dies in the opening of this, but then, the whole book is Eric fearing for his own life. So, what are you guys saying? Yeah. Oh, this cough is getting worse. But anyway, this is really good. The tone is, I'd say, it's like similar to Jurassic Park 3. Like, this does feel like, Jurassic Park 3 Part 1, and then you watch the film and it'll feel like Jurassic Park 3 Part 2. Or what am I talking about? Jurassic Park 3, yeah, Part 2. I thought I said Jurassic World Part 2. But yeah, so like, I actually consider this canon with the movies. So like, but in terms of style and like the way it feels when you read it, it's very much feels like Jurassic Park 3. Like in all honesty. What are you doing, Peggy? Hey, come here. Got a friend's cat living with us. Come here. She's old. I don't think you're going to be able to see her on the chat, but she's 14 or so. Anyway, they are aimed at children, but if you're a Jurassic Park fan, I'd say pick them up. Now, what's also interesting is one of the subjects for tonight is what dinosaurs are on Isla Sorna, and I was actually going to blend that subject with this book when I talk about it, because they introduce the iguanodons in this book. There's actually iguanodons play a massive role in this book. There's a Pegasaurus Rex. Yeah. There's like a whole sequence where, yeah, here you go. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see that very well in the tiny little screen. I made the camera small because we've got the Lost World Marketing in the background. But yeah, they got the Iguanodon in the book. I bought these off Amazon, and they weren't much. I think the most expensive one was Flyers, and that was £12 or £8. I can't remember now. First one cost me £4.50. And the first one is a little bit tattered and worn, but the second two, they're actually like in really, really good nick. Like these feel like brand new, like they've just come off the shelves. The only thing that gives away their age is the smell of the book. And just an interesting note, actually, they were where did I see that? Where did I see it? Yeah, they were actually made, for the Jurassic Institute. So like the thing that actually went, around the world. It was like the original Jurassic World experience. Oh my word. Didn't realise talking so much was going to get my voice all fucked. Does Sorna mean anything? Nublar means cloud. I don't know actually off the top of my head. Yeah, they should make a game set on Isla Sorna. I mean, they did do Trespasser. But anyway, no, so yeah, they introduced the Iguanodon on here, and they also introduced, I think, a different type of Pteranodon that is at the beginning. Just trying to remember where I read it, where he describes it. It's right near the beginning. Where are we looking? Just bear with me for a second. No, I can't find it in time. But no, it describes like a different type of Pteranodon near the beginning. And when I was reading this, I was like, oh, so that would have been the Pteranodons that burst from the trees and attacked the boat in the original script, I bet. Because they described them differently. He also describes the T-Rexes differently as well. There's a T-Rex in the opening of this book, and I swear that it's got like red on it. Here we go. Yeah, it was grey with dull red splotches. Its mouth filled with 6-inch long serrated teeth, and its eyes were darker than any nightmare. So, like, the T-Rex in this book was grey with dull red splotches. How cool is that? But when I say, like, I count this book as, canon, there are more T-Rexes on the island than what we see, so it does fit. But whether these dinosaurs are still alive now, in, like, the actual time frame of everything, who knows? No, Mr. Pete Trespasser was actually on Sorna. Are there references to the Lost World and Survivor? Yes. And if I remember correctly, I will read it to you now. Right in the opening chapter, it says dinosaurs. Oh no, it says but what's the one thing you can't go just to a zoo? Oh no, actually, I'm gonna do story time. Story time with Jack. This is Eric Kirby speaking, by the way. My mother smiled. No, I'm going to do it properly. My mother smiled. I had never seen her smile and laugh in so many years. I told Ben how much you've always liked dinosaurs, she said. Then she gestured towards the mainland. Scarlet macaws, toucans, white-faced monkeys. Yeah, sure, all this exotic wildlife is beautiful. But what's one thing you can't just go to the zoo somewhere and see? Dinosaurs, I answered. I was 5 when I got into dinosaurs, 7 when the news came that John Hammond's InGen Corporation had employed genetic scientists to bring them back from extinction using preserved prehistoric DNA, I must have watched the footage of that Rex in San Diego 100 times and told my friends that one day I'd actually see dinosaurs for myself. So there you go, right in the opening of the book, it shows that Eric Kirby watched, I don't know if you're going to be able to read that, he watched the news over 100 times watching that T-Rex. So that's pretty cool. So they do mention the Lost World in this. And obviously, you know, being linked to Jurassic Park 3, you know, they do mention the Lost World in that. Not to mention on the front cover, it's got the Lost World T-Rex and raptors. Let's see. Yeah, you guys are having a lovely conversation about Trespasser. There was 7 Rexes. Yeah, so they said, so John Hammond mentions in Trespasser that they bred 7 T-Rexes on the island. One of which we knew went to Jurassic Park. 2 of which are the adults from the Lost World. But they had another infant, so that put it back up to 8. And then we know that 1 died in Jurassic Park 3. So that still leaves 7. Including the T-Rex on Isla Nublar. But at the same time, how many has the Spinosaurus killed? How many have died of old age? You know, all that sort of stuff. Like how, you know, they can write, with the upcoming films, it's like, they can write how many dinosaurs exist as much as they want. Because, you know, these things can die and come back and all that sort of stuff all the time. Well, not actually, like, the specific dinosaur can't come back, but you know what I mean. They can breed other ones. Yes, so anyway, just to sum up, this book's really good. The first one, Hykeia, Silver Star, Jurassic Park Adventures Survivor, really good. Love it. I highly recommend it to anyone who can get it. I consider it canon. It's a neat little story. It has a start, middle, and end, and it ends right on when Eric Kirby sees Alan Grant with the raptors around him. So you can literally read this and watch Jurassic Park 3, and it almost perfectly syncs up. So really, really good. Now, on to Jurassic Park Adventures Prey. Now, this one is where... so these all follow on from each other, and I don't consider these 2 canon with the movies. So, like... this one, and these 2 aren't written in first person. Prey and Flyers aren't written in first person, they're in third. So this one does stand out style-wise. So I would say this one is really easy to like have as part of your canon. And then these 2 are just like neat little off stories. But anyway, Prey is about a group of teenagers who go to Isla Sorna to film a documentary about the dinosaurs because they want to be as famous and as rich and powerful as Eric Kirby. Now, in the storyline right at the beginning of this, Eric Kirby is in court and he's talking about his experiences of being rescued off the island. I mean, it opens up with, if you can see this, opens up with a United Nations letter, which is really cool. Like testifying witnesses Eric Kirby, age 13, speaker Dr. Alan Grant, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so like right in the opening of this, Eric's giving his like speech, and you find out that he wrote this book. He wrote Survivor, the one that I'm holding, is meant to be written by Eric Kirby as a sort of testament to his time on the island. And it made him rich and famous. But he's not allowed access to his money yet because he's not old enough. Stevis, you can buy these on Amazon or eBay. I found them really easy. I found them earlier this year. But anyway, so then Alan Grant, and this is why I don't consider these books canon. Alan Grant wants to then go back to Isla Sorna and set up a research station to study the dinosaurs further. And the way Alan Grant acts in these books, these 2, because Alan Grant doesn't appear in this until right at the end, and even then he doesn't say anything. In these 2 books, he's like so keen to get back on the island and see the dinosaurs again. And you're like, at the same time, was that linked to his character arc in Jurassic Park 3 where he, you know, he was talking about there's two different types of boys. There's astronauts and there's astronomers. And I always felt like that by the end of Jurassic Park 3, Alan Grant's almost become, you know, transitioned from astronomer to astronaut. But at the same time, what he does in these books is kind of like a it's kind of like a big stretch, you know, to set up like a research station and be like so keen to go back after, especially after his adventures in Jurassic Park 3, just seems a bit off-putting. So anyway, sorry about if I'm coughing a lot. We'll call this Let's Chat Jurassic Sick. But anyway, so in this one, Alan Grant he's set up a research base on Isla Sorna, and Eric Kirby has come along. You know, not Alan Grant didn't want him there because he said he's a kid. He doesn't, you know, he shouldn't be on this dangerous island. And then they find out that this group of kids have got trapped on the island because they're not trapped. They purposefully landed on the island to go and film this documentary without an escape plan. And I think, if memory serves correctly, their escape plan is to just go to Alan Grant's research base and make themselves known, or meet. Oh no, there's a boat. I think there's a boat they're going to go reach. But anyway, point is that they end up, you know, biting off more than they can chew, and they need to go get rescued. But Alan and Eric don't see eye to eye. Alan doesn't really want Eric there, and Eric thinks he, you know, can really help out. So when they learn that these kids are on the island, Eric goes out on his own and tries to rescue them. He tries to do what Alan and his parents did for him, and he has to prove to Alan like that he can do it. But then Alan teaches him how like he shouldn't do it again. But the weird thing is Eric just seems to get quite a lot right. Like Eric can survive on his own on the islands. But yeah. So that's basically the plot of this. You got these cocky teenagers going to film a documentary, and then all of a sudden, you know, Alan Grant and the kids are there. Now, what is cool about this book is, if I remember correctly, right at the beginning, there's a sequence on a beach with Alan Grant and some Carnotaurus, where like they're trying to fend off these free Carnotauruses. In this book, the main predator, you know, the Spinosaurus is mentioned every now and then. I think the Spinosaurus has a few sequences in this book. Yeah, it's definitely in the books. They've got pictures as well. But the main antagonists in this book, for the most part, are the Carnotauruses. And there's a great sequence where the Carnotaurus is, you know, attacking the jeep that Alan Grant's in, and the kids, and the kids and some of the mercenaries. And it's just really kick-ass to read, because it reads so much like a scene out of a film that you can just see. You could like just see it on screen. So like, and the way they do describe the research station and like Alan Grant talking about the dinosaurs and stuff, that's all really fun. It's just it's a fun read, but I just don't consider it canon based on the fact of what Alan Grant and Eric are doing. But yeah, it's really good. I'll just read you the synopsis so you can get a better idea, and then I'll catch up on the chat because I can see it going away there. A band of teenagers armed with video cameras and what they think are the rules of the island, which is this book here, illegally sneak into Jurassic Park, but their dream of making a blockbuster dinosaur documentary turns into a nightmare because dinosaurs don't play by anyone's rules. Can paleontologist Dr. Alan Grant and 13-year-old Eric Kirby save them? Or will they become prey? And yeah, so it's interesting, but at the same time, I don't consider it canon. I don't want to speak too much about it because there's some more stuff that happens in it, which is pretty neat, but I'll save that for you if you read it. But yeah, really, really good. Mr. Pete said I sound like the trailer guy. Yeah, I'll do it again for this one. Carnotaurus. Yeah, I think I pronounce Carnotaurus wrong all the time. I think it's Carnotaurus. Uh, they wouldn't be stupid enough if they went. What's it? They wouldn't be stupid enough to want to go to an island infested by dinosaurs themselves with no protection. Yeah, the kids in this book, though, the teenagers who are filming, they are quite irritating. There's one really irritating character. You just wish the dinosaurs would eat him, but they don't. This is based on the original script where Grant wants to come back to the island. The film slightly teased his redemption, but didn't have the dialogue where he says, "I'd like to come back too." Yeah, if they had that, they definitely set up that with these books. But, you know, I'd say it doesn't exist in film form, but, you know, they do exist. You can read these stories from start to finish. You know, they're here. And I read them, you know, took about 2 hours for me to chew through either of them. They're not long reads. Did it actually say they don't play by anyone's rules? Yes, I'll... yeah, I don't know if you're going to see that on the thing, but it says they don't play by anyone's rules. Yeah, I'm just seeing that, yeah. Anyway. Stevis, I spelt Carnotaurus wrong the same time as pointing out Jack's slip-up with the word. Lol, that was funny. No offence. No, none taken. I always say things wrong. Like, yes, Kia Silverstar. Yeah, they're the same dinosaurs. They, but I don't think they have the camouflage ability in the book, if I remember correctly. I'm just going to double check because they're right at the beginning. No, I don't think they do have the camouflage ability. Yeah, there are other new characters, like aside from the kids, there are other like scientist and paleontologist characters they introduce, which are really good. And I'd say the opening of this book is really good, where they're set at there's a whole courtroom sequence at the beginning of this book that's really cool. Yeah. Anyway, now this book, Flyers. This has to be, I want to say, okay, let me put it this way. I considered this canon. I love this one. But the one I think, like, this one was the most interesting. The second one was the one that I liked the least. The third one was the one I had me smiling throughout. Because the storyline of this one is mad, and I love it. Okay, so let me see. Saw Sam Neill in... I just want to read a bit of the chat before I go into this. British Tyrannosaurus. Saw Sam Neill in Thor 3 last night. Was nice seeing him in a film again. Yeah. He was in that because the director of Thor 3 did Hunt for the Wilder People. And if you haven't seen that film, I highly recommend it. British Tyrannosaurus says, non-canon book alarm. Beep, 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 beep. My canon senses are tingling. Canon's your own opinion. You can have anything canon if you want. Like, no one's stopping you. But anyway, so Jurassic Park Adventures Flyers. I'm going to read the synopsis. Let me just have a little sip of tea. So, Jurassic Park Adventures Flyers. Americans are stunned when a trio of pteranodons escape Jurassic Park, tears towards the United States. No one wants to see these awesome creatures destroyed, yet their presence is terrorizing the country. Not to mention, one of the world's biggest tourist attractions. Now authorities must turn to Jurassic Park survivors Dr. Alan Grant and 13-year-old Eric Kirby to help. Is there a way to capture these winged terrors or lure them back to Jurassic Park? Now, what it means by they're terrorizing the country, not to mention one of the biggest tourist attractions. The pteranodons in this book are not the ones that are seen flying off the end of Jurassic Park 3, which I like. They're like a different breed because they have like different colorations. They attack Universal Studios in Florida, I do believe. I think it's the Florida park. So like this book has Eric Kirby, Amanda Kirby, Alan Grant, and a few other new characters trapped in Universal Studios Florida with these pteranodons flying around. And what is absolutely brilliant about that idea is you get a sequence in this book where Amanda Kirby and Eric Kirby are riding the Jaws ride, and Bruce, the shark, bursts out of the water, the robotic one, and is attacked by a pteranodon, and you've got Jaws versus the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park. And I was reading that going, oh my god, this is like a dream come true. If that ever came to light on film, that would be amazing. Even if it's not a real shark, like it's just the animatronic one, I'd be over the moon. But also, they go into the King Kong ride, and King Kong fights one of the pteranodons, or like the pteranodon barks at it and goes or like flies around it. But like they even go on the Earthquake ride and a few others, and it's just like madness. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun. They also, there's not really much to say because the dinosaurs attack them at the park, and Alan Grant and Eric are there giving some sort of speech. That's why they were there, and like an unveiling of something. But in terms of plot, there's not really much else. They trap the pteranodons, and that's it. I mean, there's a lot that happens in it in terms of like character, development with Eric and Alan. They still don't see eye to eye on a couple of things. British Tyrannosaur. When did Hoskins appear in the book? Didn't he kill the pteranodons? Not these ones. Not these ones. And it's arguable. You could argue he didn't kill them. We wrote it so it says like he captured them. But anyway, point is that in this book, like he's what was I going to say? It's just great fun to read. Like these pteranodons are attacking Jaws, or they're attacking King Kong. What I don't like about this book is you get a lot of sequences that are told from the perspective of the pteranodons, and that's kind of jarring because they give them very human-like thought processes, and it just took me out of it completely. I mean, at least these two, like, you never got the perspective of the dinosaurs. It was always from the human's perspective. But in this one, you suddenly, go into the mindset of the dinosaurs, and they name the dinosaurs, the flying reptiles. You go into the mindset of the flying reptiles, and they think like a lot like people. I mean, I noticed the writer was describing like the way they act, but it just didn't really sit right. And also something else I didn't like with this one is there's only really the pteranodons in the entire book. It would have been nice to have a little bit more like some other dinosaurs or something. I mean, there's a little bit at the start with the Spinosaurus, some Triceratops and stuff, but 98% of the book is the pteranodons. What are you guys saying in the chat? A little late, but it was cool that Sam Neill and Jeff Goldblum were both in Thor Ragnarok. Yeah. And Matt Damon as well. I thought Thor Ragnarok was a bit of a mess, but that's just me. I mean, it was all right, but kind of hit and miss in parts for me. The pteranodons had human DNA, says Mr. Pastel. Oh no, Mr. P8680. Getting your names all mixed up now. British Tyrannosaur. They have done that in the past with the Velociraptors on the old JP comics, but that at least made sense given the JP3 Raptors' intelligence. Yeah, they sort of like... I haven't really read too many of the comic books, so I'll take your word for it. But yeah, it's a bit jarring. But something that is really interesting about this one that I would say is interesting for Jurassic Park 4. Now, we have to remember, these books came out after Jurassic Park 3, and they came out of the Jurassic Park Institute, and they came out not all at the same time. I think well, let's see, when were these published? The first one was published... okay, so it says here... it just says here, coming soon, November 2001. I don't know if you can see that. But it says Prey, so the second one was coming November 2001. And then when did Flyers come out? January 2002. I don't know if you can see that in the chat, in the window there. But like, it says coming January 2002. So obviously they were building up to start talking about, Jurassic Park 4. And obviously, as we all know, what they were planning originally for Jurassic Park 4 was this whole human dinosaur hybrid thing, script that Sales was working on, and William Monahan and stuff at the time. But there is a sequence at very near the beginning of this book. I just want to read it to you. That I've read, and I was like, actually, were they actually using these books to segue into the fourth Jurassic movie? Let me just read you this paragraph. It says, the Inquisition, as Alan kept referring to it, started right after the introductions and applause. Dr. Grant, how many people have you seen actually eaten by dinosaurs? One reporter asked. Another stood before he could answer. How could you possibly justify risking more human lives with your work on Isla Sorna? A third rose quickly. Alan's gaze narrowed. He tensed at the sight of this scruffy reporter in khaki shorts. What about the reports of secret production of human dinosaur hybrids being used by the military? Good morning, Mr. Wilkes. What a surprise to see you here, Alan said. Like, that line there, I was like, holy shit, that might be the only time in print in the Jurassic Park lore that human dinosaur hybrids have been mentioned. Like, outside of like production notes and stuff. Like, to actually have a book that mentions that by name for the military, I was like, oh crap. So like, before Jurassic Park 4 came out, you could have read these books, and potentially that is where, would have segued into. Let's have a look. What are you guys saying? Can you explain more about Alan Grant's research centre on Sorna? Does he have a team? Yes, he does. He has a... Let me just check on the time. Oh, God. Did I just start something on the... Nope. Okay. Good. I'm just trying to see. He has a character called... There's like... It's described as like this base that's sort of on the sort of edge of the island that has like fences all around it and whatnot. And he has a very small team. I imagined it like the control room in Jurassic Park. That's the way it's like kind of described. Let's have a look. I'm trying to find the name of Deborah. Deborah Holland is security chief. And then there's Jerry... the cook. They're the two characters that are really introduced. I think there's one more, but anyway, the Deborah Holland was security chief, and then Jerry the cook, and then there's Alan Grant, and I think a couple of others. There's like a few mercenaries. Welcome, Jerry said with a giant grin. Welcome to the Jurassic Park Rangers Station, that's what they call it. The very first field office of the UN's Bureau of Ancient Animal Affairs. There you go, isn't that cool? That's what it's called. The Jurassic Park Rangers Station. Just there, I don't know. I still don't know if you guys will be able to read this, but yeah, that's where it is. But yeah, no, these books, I would say they are really cool to pick up if you can. I'm glad I picked them up, and especially the first one. If you can't pick up the other two, I'd say go for the first one. I would want to recommend Flyers over Prey, but here's the pros and cons with these two. Pros are lots of dinosaurs, Alan Grant and Carnotosauruses, the whole courtroom sequence at the beginning, and just a few like really interesting set pieces. Cons are the teenagers, they're really irritating, and Alan Grant's character development seems very forced after you watch Jurassic Park 3. Flyers pros, Pteranodons versus Jaws, Pteranodons versus Kong, Pteranodons versus the Earthquake Ride. The mention of the human dinosaur hybrids, I think that's just great because it's just so tongue-in-cheek, and it's a reporter asking about rumours, so it doesn't really ruin anything. And also the idea of Pteranodons attacking a theme park, especially Universal Studios. Cons are not enough dinosaurs, again Alan Grant's character development, and also the perspective of the Pteranodons. But yeah, if you can pick those up, I highly recommend it. So that is that section done. My God, my throat is killing me. Oh. Let's have a look. Small Farm says, just got here. What did I miss? We talked about plot holes in Jurassic Park 3, and I just described the Jurassic Park Adventures books. Steve Isneer says, Ian Malcolm growl into the mug. Alright, I'll do it. Wasn't there a mention of cloning a caveman in some book? I think it's in one of the comic books. Do they mention that? Oh no, it's in one of the novelizations. Okay, so let's go on to the Lost World marketing. I think I'm gonna, because my throat is killing me, I think we're gonna go through this because there's quite a few images on this. But let's go through some of these posters and talk about them. So you all prepared, guys? You all ready for this? Let's do it. So right here, what we can see in the background is a Lost World. I don't know if you... I can't read what that says at the bottom. It says something about Memorial Day. But anyway, what even is this? Is this like a photo booth, or is it just meant to be a cage? Or was it like a ride, or like a arcade machine? What was this thing? Was it like a really elaborate poster? No idea. But yeah, no, I don't know what that is. But let's skip over that. And then we have all these different types of logos, which we're probably going to see later on in the when we scroll through. Now it's interesting because the Lost World posters and marketing, I was actually going to do on my third Jurassic Park live stream. I started going into it, but then I realised I should hold back and do it in a new one. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. I mean, it took from live chat 3 to 8, so it took a while. Yeah, not much to see there. Oh my God, look at this. So we got like some stonework, and then this T-Rex looks like it's laughing. Oh, talking about logos, just quickly. I just want to mention, I thought it was interesting that, I don't know if you can see this, but the Jurassic Park Adventures logo is the Jurassic Park 3 logo, but with the T-Rex instead of Spinosaurus. And you can tell it's the Jurassic Park 3 one because it's silver and red, obviously, but it also has the Pteranodons right at the bottom. Now, a lot of people, who when they released Jurassic Park 3 on DVD and Blu-ray or whatever, they, to market it to people who didn't really like the third one, they changed the logo from the Spinosaurus to the T-Rex. But I just thought it was interesting to point out that had already been done on these books. That is the Jurassic Park 3 logo, but with a T-Rex instead of Spinosaurus. So even with these books, they knew that they needed to get the Spinosaurus off the logo. I like the Spinosaurus logo, though. I'm one of the few people who really, really likes that logo. I think it looks swish. Like, especially like the fully detailed one, where like the metal and stuff is all a bit chipped and not quite right. There was also, what is it? Yeah, the Hammond's mini elephant was just mentioned by Stevis in the chat. I would love to see that on film. That would be hilarious. It'd remind me of like Valley of Gwangi when they have the little Eohippus horse that comes out. Yeah. Anyway, here we can see a more, standard Lost World poster. I mean, it's brown. It's not really a finalized one. Can you guys see this all right? Are the images coming through okay? Because, I mean, it's on the DVD, so it might be a bit, Charles K says, JP prequel? What's that in reference to, that question, Charles? Oh, that one's a little bit more defined, but it looks like they've just removed the black behind the text. We're going to probably see some really weird logos in this one. There was some really weird logos for the Jurassic Park 3 one. And there we can see the plant life coming in. And there you go. Look at that. Perfect. Just normal logo on black. What more could you want? That's what you want. Just done. Finished. Take it to print. I think a JP prequel before Hammond had the park would be disappointing. I mean, you watch the Jurassic Park thing for the dinosaurs. Oh no, there you go. Look, you can see the difference between... Oh god, I'm going back too far. This one and then this one here. This one looks more like, what we got. And then they've sort of roughed up the edges and embossed them a little bit more there. Yeah, these are pretty standard stuff. That one's a bit ugly. Did they just like up the size of the T-Rex there? Yeah, they did. That one looks nice. That's really nice. Look at that with the plants. Now look at that. The T-Rex breaking through the poster. With its evil eye. So the pupil looks really dilated. It's on like drugs or something. Yeah, the Lost World logo is my favourite, I think. That one, so this one, it looks like they went, yeah, let's have the T-Rex ripping through the logo, and then someone said, yeah, but you can't really read the title, so they've sort of like took it back a little bit more. What is going on here? Just a circle. The Lost World. It's like the Star Wars opening crawl. Philip Mercurio says, I don't like the orange Jurassic Park 3 logo being used now. Yeah, I don't know what the colour changing thing's all about. I think they're just trying to like test the waters with like giving each film a different colour palette. But then the Lost World one is just like completely silver and yeah, I don't know. Looks like a 50s sci-fi movie, yeah. This really does. It looks like it should be like on the 1951 version of The Lost World, I think. Or the 1960 version. 60. The Lost World. These are just very retro looking. This one's cool. It says The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2. It's kind of cool. They were like going for like a completely different, idea. The Lost World. That T-Rex wants some tasty retro, yeah. Yeah, these are all looking quite similar now. Oh, that one says The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2. Why is that at the bottom? It's not trees. Mr. Patel, Mr. Pete, sorry, 8680 just said that's crap. I agree. Oh, it's like a volcano or something in the background. What is going on? Like, imagine if, like, when Jurassic Park came out, or The Lost World, sorry, this was the poster we got. Could you imagine, like, imagine the film as it is, but the poster like this? It would have been amazing. Here is a question asked British Tyrannosaur. Should Jurassic Park 3 have a subtitle like The Lost World, seeing as the second film didn't have 2 in the title? Yeah, I think they should have called it Site B. Site B, Jurassic Park. Why are the majority of Jurassic Park fans British? Asked Pastel Studios. I wouldn't say the majority of Jurassic Park fans are British. I'd think I would probably argue that the majority of Jurassic Park fans are probably Spanish or Brazilian. I know so many fans from those neck of the woods. But I won't disagree. There are in terms of there are a lot of Jurassic Park fans from the UK. You could probably chalk that off to Christmas time. There was so much hype when the original Jurassic Park came out around Christmas because it was coming on TV. This is cool. So this is the Lost World logo, but done in the style of the first film. So it's very just bold colours on black. Look at that one. Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. That 2 is really big. Philip says, these are like the cover of Michael Crichton's novel, The Lost World. Yeah. Some of these are, yeah. Oh, look at this. So I think with ones like this, like they were going for a kind of, the first one was the skeleton. Oh my god, wait, we'll talk about that one in a minute. The the skeleton, and then now something has survived. I'm guessing the idea behind it is that they wanted the dinosaur to be like alive, right? Is that that must have been the mindset behind these ones, where they've like replaced the skeleton with the T-Rex. But also, like, I don't know why they changed the text. Like, the Lost World text is completely different. It doesn't even, like, fit fully in the box. Now, this one. This might be my favourite. I'm not even kidding. Look at that. That is such an old school dinosaur. And that font. That really looks like it should be, like, The People That Time Forgot or something. Yeah. It's just like, look at that. That is retro. Jurassic World had the best catchphrase, says Mr. Pete. The park is open. That is a pretty damn good tagline. Yeah, it did look like the 50s. I don't really have much to say about this one. Yeah, I think they definitely had the mindset of like they wanted the dinosaur to be like alive rather than a fossil. And they're like testing out different fonts. Oh yeah, Brian Treasure, you're right actually. Technically the new one has the best logo, which is Life Finds a Way. Actually, I'm with you on that one. I retract my previous statement. And yeah, it definitely, Life Finds a Way is the best one. Egypticus thinks the original one is the best. It's hard to argue with that. An adventure is 65 million years in the making. Yeah, so glad they went with the skeleton one. Oh my god, look at this. Sorry, I haven't even been looking. I've been reading the chat. What is going on with this? Why did they... It's like an egg. Scone Trooper. I would have subtitled Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic Park Evolution. That's a good one. And I think that actually was one of the titles at one point. I could be wrong. Life Finds a Way was one of the taglines used for Jurassic Park, but at the same time, like in the public eye, it's not many people know. Not many people know that. Oh look, we're back to the like the one from Crichton's novel. Why do I think they made the tagline for the new film Life Finds a Way? Asks Brian. We'll have to find out next year. Charles K. Why wouldn't they correct the record, admit the dinosaurs were made in a lab, and make them now with feathers, make raptors smaller? I don't know, wow factor maybe? I mean, who knows, maybe one day they might add feathered dinosaurs in, but it sort of aids the plot that the dinosaurs don't have feathers. Yeah, I agree. The T-Rex looking down looks a bit stupid. Dancing raptor. This one, I have no idea what they were thinking. Let's just go back one. Yeah, the raptor. Wait, that says the Lost World. Oh, it does say Jurassic Park 2. It's just the 2 is so dark you can't see it. Yeah, I'm just gonna... But this one... What the hell is that? British Tyrannosaur. The thing is, the raptors in the canon are 6 feet tall because we see the fossils in Montana. That's true, yeah. In the canon of Jurassic Park, Velociraptor is just a different dinosaur. The Lost World! World! Oh my word. What dinosaur is that? It's got 3 fingers. Oh my god. These are just getting weirder and weirder. Small Farms. What kind of dinosaurs / creatures would you like to see in future films? Medium-sized carnivores is what I would like to see. An adult Dilophosaurus maybe one day. I mean, we did get the hologram in Jurassic World, which showed that it was about the size of a raptor, but yeah, I want more. Oh my god. Wait, no, they've taken a screenshot of the T-Rex roaring from the visitors center, and they've flipped it, and it looks like it's ripping the top of the logo off. Oh, this just hurts the eyes. And they've got like America. There's like like South America, Mexico is in the background. It's like the T-Rex is ripping the world apart. Oh my god. This is just pure shit. Ooh. Yeah. I don't know about this one. Wow. Look at this 3D one. The Last World. Yeah, the colours were awful on that last one. Good God, what is happening to that T-Rex's mouth? Oh my God. Mr. Pete just said that one was too book-like, but this one looks very much like Crichton's book. Yeah, you've just said in the chat, too book-like. Same for this one. It's just disappearing now. Gone for red. Does just look like a cover to the book. Kind of like that one. Not as a movie poster, but just a book cover. That's pretty cool. Nope. Nope. No. Makes you wonder who they got to do these. Some of these look like they belong in a 50s diner, says Small Farms. Philip says the T-Rex was pulling a Indominus, ripping its jaw open that wide. Yeah. That really looks like a book cover. Books, 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 books. Oh. Oh my God. What is going on? Looks like a kitty's cut it up for a paper doll. Yep, don't like these ones. Oh, we got the dancing raptors back. Wow. What? Hang on, wait a second. What even is this? What is this one? Oh my God. How would you even know that that's related to Jurassic Park? Like, when I first got these DVDs, I went through these, so I've obviously seen all these before, but like it's been years. Wow, I do not remember this one. This is... What is this? A globe? Is it chaos or something? That's what these guys are saying. British Tyrannosaurus Scone Trooper? I have no idea what they were thinking with this poster. Wow, that's pretty cool. You got like dinosaur silhouettes at the bottom. The T-Rex skull is in the O. And then that kind of looks like the Kong Skull Island font. You know, if you've seen Kong Skull Island, when the title comes up, it goes... Looks like that. I actually kind of like that. Well, they definitely tried to use the T-Rex animatronic on this one. Oh, look, there's a close-up version. I actually like that. If that was a book cover, that's pretty cool. There's that T-Rex at the end of Jurassic Park again. What have they done to its head? head's all got these weird bumps all over it. Before. After. Before. Hey man, I'm starving. After. I like the eclipse in the background, but we need more. More what? More teeth. It looks like a spaniel, said Stevis. Oh wow, we did get more teeth. Is this going forward or backward through the design order? I'm going forwards, but every now and then I keep going back to look at one or two. Oh my god, when you thought that design couldn't get any worse. That must be completely well, I mean it is unfinished, but what is going on there? That just doesn't look right at all. Pure shit. Yep. That one has Crash McCreary's dinosaur at the top. That one's, even though it's like completely different in a way to what we got, like that one's not too bad. I mean, I wouldn't have ever had dreamed of it being on the film, but you could imagine that lost like the actual diamond shape being like a sticker or something. It's like a road sign. Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, that's pretty standard, although the font is really boring. Madden Rush says, I make videos about Jurassic World 2, check out my channel. Maybe I will. But there you go, you got a little plug, but I don't know what your channel's like, so hopefully it's spoiler free. What is going on with this one? Oh, cheers for the donation, Stevis. Not much, mate, just a token of support. Thanks, man. Much appreciated. What you can do with your tip is, now what you get is to pick one of the topics that, you know, if you pick a topic for me to talk about in my next live stream, Let's Chat Jurassic Park, I will cover it. No matter what it is, whether I've covered it before or anything, I'll cover the topic or topics. Pick two topics, one for each dollar or pound, sorry, and then I'll do that for your kind generosity. There's something about the next live stream that I'll be explaining at the end, but I'll get to that in a bit. Wow, so that looks awful. That's interesting. I kind of like that one. I like the font at the bottom. The Lost World. It looks like it should be the Lost World like TV show. Stevis, no way. I had better make it a good one. This is new, to be honest. I will, for sure. Thanks, mate. Yeah, all you have to do is just send me a tweet or an email, or send me a message on YouTube about what subjects, and I write them down. So then I've got a list of what I should talk about. Oh, good, Madam Rash. That's what I like to hear. So yeah, I'll check out your channel after or tomorrow or something. Have a little peruse through your videos. See what you say. Wow, this one's a mess. Look at that. Hideous. Almost looks like a horror film. That is pretty cool. That looks like it should be like a game cover or something. Oh wow, look at this one. We're back to the T-Rex being alive. Whoa, what is going on here? I can't even see what's meant to be going on in the background there. That's so dark. I'm just passing that one. Yeah, they really wanted to go with that I through the O, didn't they? That's crazy. Yeah, these are just hideous. That one looks... What even is that? What is that? Like, that is the laziest design ever. Oh dear. There you go, look at that. Something has survived. That's pretty cool. That is a great teaser poster. That is what you want to see. That is straight to the point. Although I'd say the text is probably a little bit big, but yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. Look, they sort of answered it. Yeah, I'm skipping over these ones because there's not much to talk about. They all start to look very similar. Trauma Child has returned. Good man. Look at this one. So again, I think the idea behind this one is to have the T-Rex alive. So like the first film had the skeleton, then the second film would have a T-Rex looking more alive. That's what I think the mindset was behind these. Yeah, look at that. Wow. They're trying all these different T-Rexes. None of them are landing. Oh my god, what is going on? Completely changing the T-Rex each time. Matt Scarlett says, evening. Good evening, sir. Hope you've had a good Friday. Look at all these different T-Rexes. That one is, you know, I don't like it on the logo because we're used to the skeleton, but that one's not the worst. Oh my god, look at the head on that one. Scone Trooper says, it's interesting that none of these designs have people in them. Yeah, in the Jurassic Park 3 logos, they have like human fetuses all curled up. Trauma Child said, looking at alternative Lost World logos? Yes, we are. Oh yeah, like they wanted to get a bit of the leg in there. Show a bit of leg off. Oh, and if you notice, like they've got the cracks on that one as well. Like they introduced the cracks. This one looks like they've taken a picture of the maquette and then drawn over it. You know the Stan Winston maquette where the green one where the T-Rex is running. That's the same one, just the opposite way around. I mean, that looks pretty cool. Oh, what is going on with that T-Rex's arms? What the hell? Can you see that? It looks like its arms are like right here. Like, Oh my god. Dead arms. Yeah, it's just got these two little straight arms. Oh my god. Yeah, everyone's laughing. Neck arms. I know. Riley Ross, welcome to the live stream. See, that one's a little bit better. That looks a little bit like the Crash McCreary artwork. A failed hybrid. Yeah, we're back to all the big face there. Changing some of the lighting. I get a feeling that they nearly went with... Oh my god. I want to get back to that one, but... It looks like they almost went with this design because that T-Rex has appeared quite a lot. So maybe they almost went with that one. Red Rex, yeah. Look at this. So just when we thought the T-Rex neck arms couldn't get any worse, They give it those teeth. Oh my god. Savage. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to be too cruel to the artists who worked on this, because obviously they, we're trying different things. Just throwing shit together really quickly. Yeah. Doesn't... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Looks pretty mean. Oh my god, what is going on with that one? Looks like he's given a bit of an Elvis snarl. Oh, yeah. Oh. I don't care if the sun don't shine. I do my loving in the evening time when I'm with my baby. That's what he's singing right there. Trauma Child says it was from the 90s. What do you expect? It doesn't even look like a T-Rex. Yeah, Philippe says these neck arms are great for reaching to its mouth to brush its teeth. But this one's like neck and body like super thin. What is going on here? Do you know what that... Is that just me, or does that look like the Spinosaurus? Like, doesn't that just kind of look a little bit like the Spinosaurus? Or am I just seeing... I mean, I know it's not meant to be. I think that's meant to be the T-Rex, because it's got the two fingers and everything. But it kind of does, like, just the face I'm talking about. It kind of looks a little bit like the Spino. Oh my god, what is going on? They're getting worse. It's like, from a marketing standpoint, that is just not good, because you've got all that red above W, O, R and L. Like, all that space to do stuff that they're just not doing anything with. Maybe they heard me because it moved over. Yeah, they're trying to fill in that space. I bet someone said, they were like, you better fill in that space. Okay, that's a little bit better. Again, looks like they're trying to fill up the entire space. Yeah, look at that. Okay, that looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. That would have been cool on like a comic book. They heard me in the past, yeah. God, look at that one. Ah, there we go. Wow, look at that. Jurassic Park, The Lost World. Done. What more do you need to know? British Tyrannosaur. Does your Jurassic Park 1 DVD have its posters as well? I don't think so. I've got a cat sleeping on me at the moment. I'm contending with this. I don't know if you can see. There's a cat on my lap. So like I can't really get up. She's not budging. So I would get up and have a look at my DVD to see if it has the posters on it. I don't think it does, but we'll have a look. Clever girl. Yeah. It's not even my cat. So there you go. Like, they were like, yeah, let's just put the logo underneath the other logo. British Tyrannosaur says, weird seeing the title the other way around. Yeah. I mean, I think there might be an example coming up. There you go, look. The perfect one, like what you were just saying, like Jurassic Park, The Lost World. So that's almost like Fallen Kingdom, isn't it? It's like Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom. No, they went that other way around. Rylu Ross says that's the best reason not to get up. I know, she's very fluffy. I prefer Jurassic Park Lost World over Lost World. Jurassic Park, says Mr. Pete. Well, there you go. There's your logo right there. Oh, there you go. Look, that's the Fallen Kingdom equivalent of Jurassic Park. Wow, I'm going to take a picture of this. I'm going to take a picture of this and post it online. Not while we're streaming, though. I'll just take a picture of it while we're streaming because I don't want to lose it. That is just like the Fallen Kingdom design, isn't it? That is crazy. Yeah. British Tyrannosaur says, remember when everyone thought Jurassic Park 5 would be Jurassic World, the Lost Park? Yeah. Everyone made that joke. Oh, look at that. There you go. Classic. The Lost World. That's interesting to think, like, if it didn't even have, like, Jurassic Park in the title, that's what it would have looked like. The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Guess they were trying different ways of fitting the text in different fonts inside the thing. Again, look, that the way they've spaced the words out at the bottom, the letters, sorry, that's very like what they've done with Fallen Kingdom. I like it. Yeah. Mr. Pete said, I need JP in the title. Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't think it would be good for them not to have just called it The Lost World without mentioning Jurassic Park, but yeah. And here we go, like more of the classic design. Getting more to what we know. That one's not that good. Yeah, these are all sort of... Whoa, what is that T-Rex doing? It's got like crab arms. It looks like it's got the arms of the Queen Alien. You know, the Queen Alien in Aliens has like 6 arms and her 2 little ones in the thing, like... Taking a dump. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Look at that one. It's even green. Jurassic dump, says Stevis Neo. British Tyrannosaur. God, I just love the colours and how the red is cracked. Wonder why the red is cracked. Is it symbolic? I think it's just meant to be like, because in the Lost World the hurricane had destroyed the island, so it's like it's all worn down and stuff. The lost dump. Oh. So they've just taken a really crappy picture of the maquette. Sort of stuck it over the logo. Whoa, dude! You got 3 raptors. They all look slightly weird. The thing is, the artist who did the T-Rex and the raptors isn't a bad artist. I just think that the way these dinosaur pictures have been used on the logo just isn't good. Stevis Neo, I'm not up to speed with Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Is the Fallen Kingdom logo cracked and blue, or is it the same as Jurassic World? It's a slightly darker version of Jurassic World, and it is cracked. It's like cracked and destroyed. Ugh, what's going on with this one? No idea. Yep, just the classic logo on white. The Lost World. That T-Rex is missing a vital tooth. Look at that. Look. Looks like there's a gap, like where, like right about here, on where I'm pointing. There's a gap where one tooth has fallen out. Yeah, again, Mr. Pete, I agree with you. It does look like a book thing. Le Monde Puda. How do you pronounce that? Le Monde. I'm not even going to pronounce it. It's the French title. Le Monde Pudu. I don't know. So we've got France, Germany, Finland's version, Japan. That looks cool. Look at that. Something very aesthetically pleasing about the Japanese language written down. The tagline is just France. Le Monde Paydu. Le Monde Paydu. I hope I'm getting that right. Amour. I'm not good. Okay. We're into the last section now, guys. And then once I finish this section, I'm going to call it a night for this stream. But I'll update you on what's going on with the next live chat in a minute. But okay, so we've reached the toys section now. This one's quite short, so yeah. I need you guys in the chat who know about the toys to explain to me, because I actually have some question about what these toys are. So like this one here, I'm assuming is a concept piece of the what do they call it? The ground tracker vehicle that was for the Kenner line that came out. There was like, I've got it upstairs. I wish I brought it down, but there's like one with lights on the top and stuff, and it was like, and the reason I think this is a concept of that is because it's using Ellie and Muldoon as figures, as like stand-in figures. That said, they should have released this version. Like, even though it doesn't look 100% screen accurate, I mean, the one they actually released that I've got upstairs is a little bit more screen accurate. But this looks so cool. That looks really awesome. Love the coloration. I think it's meant to be like Eddie Carr's Mercedes. Yeah, it is meant to be the ground tracking vehicle because it's got the same crane. And with the green camo, yes. But these are like prototypes. So these are like prototype toys. I don't know if any of these actually came out. Robert Muldoon screws it up again. Now this is cool. Was this ever released as a toy though? I mean, I know it was a Matchbox vehicle, but did they ever release this as an actual like vehicle that you could buy for the toy line? I don't think so. But I mean, could you imagine if they had released this? Yeah, I think these are all like prototypes, concept art. That's the buck T-Rex cage, right? Says British Tyrannosaur. Yeah, that's what I think it's meant to be. And it looks like that you could even be able to fit the figure in there. Oh, it's got a Velociraptor. Oh, okay, there you go. That gives some perspective of size. You wouldn't be able to fit a... oh my god, how small is that thing? Because you can see the Raptor in the back. So, like, the cabin of that vehicle is super small. Crash test dummies. I remember those. Mr. Pete just mentioned them in the chat. Oh yeah, there you go. Look. So that can show you how small that garbage truck design is. As Stevis Neo just said, garbage truck design. Yes, I think British Tyrannosaur, you just asked, was this the truck that was meant to take the T-Rex in San Diego? Yeah, I think this is in, like, they have like an 18-wheeler truck in the film, but in the concept art, it looked like this. Or was it specifically meant to be just for raptors? I don't know. Now, this is the Bull T-Rex figure, but if many people know, the Bull T-Rex was actually a model on what was called the Gulper T-Rex, which was this same mold, and that was going to come out with the original Jurassic Park Series 2 toy line, I think. And the Gulper T-Rex was never released. They ended up repainting it and calling it the Bull T-Rex, and they released it for the Lost World toy line. But with this, I think this is the only high-res picture, aside from like the diorama they have on the back of the box that's online. Like, I think this is one of the only pictures of the actual Gulper T-Rex with its paint design. I mean, that just looks so cool. Hello, John Reese. Yeah, no, I think this is the original. If you look up Gulper T-Rex action figure Jurassic Park, you'll see what I mean. See you later, Small Farms. Yeah, so like when Jurassic Park came out, they were going to release this toy called the Gulper, and it swallows characters whole, because you can put them in its mouth and pull it out of its stomach. But then they didn't release it, and they held the molds of the toy. They shelved them until the Lost World came out, and then they released it as the Bull T-Rex. But I think this is a picture of the original Gulper from the 1993 or 1994 toy line, which is really cool. And I think that is it. Yeah. All right. I think that is the end of the live stream, guys. Yeah, I really, really hope you've enjoyed this live stream for tonight. I know I have. Let me go to the main menu. Oh God, what have I done? Oh, there we go. We're back to the main menu now, so we can see some raptors walk around. Oh, the King Kong 2005 V-Rex was a Gulper toy as well. Amazing. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this live stream. It's been fun. My voice is killing me right now. I've got a bit of a cough, as you could probably tell from earlier on. And when I started talking, it was really playing up on my throat. But anyway, so let me just tell you about Let's Chat Jurassic Park 9. So for the 9th Let's Chat Jurassic Park, which I don't know when I'm planning on doing it yet, but Stevish, you're going to need to send me your subjects. Just double checking it was Stevish who tipped me, wasn't it? Yeah. Stevish, you're going to send me those subjects you want me to talk about, and I'll put them in the next one. But the next live stream is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to try and set it up. Oh no. I'm saving the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom trailer release for the 10th Let's Chat Jurassic Park, so that should fall sometime after that. But the 9th one, I'm going to try and do it so I can live stream painting a dinosaur from Jurassic Park, but I'll let the chat decide what I paint. So yeah, so hopefully the 9th one should be quite a interactive episode. So like, you guys can say like, oh, draw, I don't know, the Pteranodons attacking the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, and then I'll spend the entire stream painting it while talking about the subjects that you guys want me to talk about. And I think that should be a nice way of mixing up these live chats. But anyway, on that note, guys, thank you so much for coming along for the 8th Jurassic Park live stream. It's been absolutely fantastic. I'm glad so many of you stuck around for the whole thing, and have given me a lot to chew on. If there are any other subjects anyone wants me to talk about, please send them to my Twitter at Jack_Ewens. And keep an eye on my Twitter and the Jurassic Cast Twitter account for updates on when the next one is. Again, thank you, Stevus, for the tip. That is most thankful. And also anyone who subscribed during this live stream or who's watching this in the future, thank you very much. Thanks very much, guys. And remember, life finds a way. Have fun out there, you freaks.